What's up everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video I'll be casting the epic semifinals of this month's 2v2 tournament between the defending champions Spirit and MaxPax and Elaser and Skillous. Now Elaser and Skillous are not just very high level players, they're also very creative players, and I really like seeing the solutions they usually come up with against standard meta builds. In this series in particular, they might have invented one of the coolest unit compositions I have ever seen in 2v2. I'm not going to keep you guys from the games any longer. Let's begin. All right, the first semifinals, MaxPax Spirit against Elaser Skillous. Now this one is a particularly cool one because with the new feeding rules, this is the matchup that I was thinking about the most. In fact, since the uThermal 2v2 circuit already has had one edition, I can now share history with you guys because I like sharing history and stories. So, Elaser and Skillous were, in my opinion... Actually, let me think about Skillous for a second. No, I think it was actually just Elaser. Yeah. Elaser was one of the biggest victims of the Phoenix feeding. He's obviously a very strong player, but he didn't make it to even the quarterfinals last time because he lost to a Phoenix feeding strategy. So in the new feeding rules, I'm very curious how he's gonna do against Protoss Terran, which is historically the feeding team composition, right? And in general, I just want to know how good Protoss Zerg is. Skillous, one of the other best players to not make the quarterfinals last time. So these guys are kind of on a little bit of a vengeance arc, a redemption arc, if you will. Now these guys, I have to give it to them. They are the current best 2v2 team. They won the last edition. They win a lot of the cups that Wardy was... I'm not sure if he still does it, but used to host the 2v2, 3v3 cups and stuff. And they even won the show match with the feeding rules against the other finalists, Trigger and Clem. So yeah, these guys are... They're incredibly strong. And if Elaser Skillous would beat them, that'd be freaking hype. That would be really hype. Then we have a chance for another champion this time, which I think is really cool. This is just going to be a 1-gate expand from MaxPax, a Reaper expand from Spirit, or Marine expand. Hatch first by Elaser, and 1-gate expand by Skillous as well. So they're all playing completely calm. Wondering about the pings, by the way. Like, did you just see he pinged all of those bases? It makes me really curious about what the communication is like. Like, is he trying to say, all those bases are mine, back the hell off? Probably not, but I have no idea. Now, let's see. And yeah, feeding is delayed by about a minute and a half, which seemed to have been enough to not have the games result in Phoenix spam, which I think is fantastic. So, and it's a mod they have to play in. Which does mean you can't host on like Game Heart or whatever, but I don't think it's really big of a deal for 2v2 anyway. Now wait, Oh, that's a bad start. Oh no, Skillous. Skillous is my homie. One of my best target friends, but I just caught him in HD, forgetting his second pylon and wasting an entire chrono boost. Ouch. Okay, that is not the start I wanted to see. What it is? That is the start I wanted to see. Oh, that is brutal. Look, oh no, Spirit lifted his barracks and he got pylon blocked on his reactor. Oh my goodness, this is a very eventful early game, I have to say. This is disgusting. No, this makes up for it completely, guys. He might have full chrono boosted his gateway, but he did pylon block this reactor, and this is gonna be blocked forever. Hellions build really fast, by the way. This blocked him like 3 Hellions, I think. I'm not even kidding. I think he would have been able to have 4 Hellions instead of 1 by the time. Like, that's crazy. He straight up made a 3rd CC because he got blocked. I'm not even kidding. I know his build. He made a 3rd CC because he got blocked, and now he only has 1 Hellion instead of 4. That's pretty painful. Okay, painful moments on both sides. This is where MaxPax becomes the literal most dangerous player on the planet, by the way, when his first Oracle finishes. I've seen it so many times. This Oracle stays alive for 15 minutes, drops 100 stasis ward, catches 15,000 stalkers in them, kills 20 probes, scouts everything, and they are gonna go for the Phoenix play. All right, so this is the build that they were owning with in that show match. 2 Stargate Phoenix without feeding. Spirit, however, is doing a slightly different build. If you guys didn't see the show match, the build that they did, that I thought was really cool. Oh, gonna be a lot of damage on the Zerg side, by the way. I think actually only 1 probe lost so far. These are probably gonna kill at least a couple. This one hell, dude. Guys, if that was 4 Hellions, all these drones would have been dead. That's actually crazy, the amount of difference that actually made. If that was actually the Hellions he wanted to have, those drones would have been dead and they might have been toast already. Okay, but back to the build order. What Spirit was playing was 2 Factory Tank without any barracks units, and then Max was playing 2 Stargate Phoenix. Separately, those things are not that good. Just a regular 2 Stargate Phoenix, you're gonna die to like a Blink Stalker Link push. Just tanks, you die to like Charge Slots or Zerglings, stuff like that. But together, it's actually a very good composition. And Elaser's playing Roaches. Huh. He seems to be moving across on his own. Skillus does have Blink at this point. No upgrades at all being built. How many drones does he have? 38 drones on Elaser. And they're gonna go for a big attack. And I'm gonna be honest here, I think there is a 1% chance that this attack works. There are... how many Marines is that? There's 12 Marines out in 3 tanks. I think I wouldn't be exaggerating if I would say that Spirit could hold this attack alone. Please go back. There is just... Save the units. Like, I'm sorry, my friends, but this is just... Oh, this is gonna be painful. He's gonna lose the Stalkers as well, looks like. They're still rallying units across. Here's the thing. Protoss Zerg timing attacks are historically good against Protoss Terran. This map, however, is the most campy map in the map pool. There's a small ramp. It's absolutely massive. He's gonna lose a Phoenix over there, which is nice. I don't know. Elaser has a lot of supply, but that is pure Roach, Ravager, Zergling supply. We have seen that these builds... This is actually a cool thing about 2v2, by the way. These builds seem like they don't have to do as much damage in 2v2 as 1v1. So aggression seems a little stronger. Because you can easily deny bases. There's no more... Oh, they're actually gonna go for... Oh, that is crazy. They realized the Phoenixes were out of position. He's gonna blink on top of the tanks. There's no stim on the Marines. These bunkers are going absolutely ham, though. There's a couple of Ravagers in the back. Is this still working? I mean, the supply looks like it is not working. The Phoenixes are still not back. Surprisingly, haven't recalled those Phoenixes. Looks like there was no supply. I think the bunkers are still going to hold strong. There's also the two cannons and a battery down here. Good bios by Elaser. But I think the bunkers have already done... Well, I say that. Spirit has no supply. Is this going to turn into Max having to carry the frick out of this game with his Phoenixes? Probably. Actually, Spirit does have a 3rd command center. I still think it wasn't enough, to be honest. I know I would love to say that it was because aggression is cool. I still don't think it was enough. And now they can lift plus stim Marines under the lifted units. 6 more Stalkers show up, but the Phoenixes probably have enough lift still. The supply is very low, and they do have to call GG in the end. Got a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But the Phoenixes still prevail. And yeah, I mean, just to be honest here, I don't like that they went for this strategy on this map, okay? I think that this build would have worked on Reclamation or another map, or it could have worked. This map is very big, very small ramp, easy to scout. Don't think it was the right map for the build. And this makes me wonder if they're going to all-in every single game in a similar fashion. Because if they do it on this map, they're probably going to do it on the others. It was a fast game 1. They could still do it, though. All right, game number 2. Here we go. So far, let me just... Okay, there we go. So far, I've casted 3 games, and they were all pretty one-sided. And most of them were cool in a different way. The last game was my least favorite. Not to unhype you guys, but the Phoenix tank strategy is really as old as 2v2 is, pretty much. And I kind of wish to see some more effective ways of dealing with it, you know? They got pretty close because they made a good decision, good split-second decision. I just didn't like the strategy they went for on the map. I think there's a lot of ways to deal with Phoenix tank. For example, I mean, it really depends on what race you play, right? But double Protoss, double Blink is really good. If you play Protoss Zerg, I actually think it's pretty good to go full eco. Why I like playing Zerg against Protoss in team games is because if they go for Phoenixes, you can make Ling and then go straight into Ultra. Because they're very unlikely to have something that can kill you early, and the Ultralisk are actually really good there. Can't get lifted by Phoenix, are pretty good against Skytals anyway. And then your teammate can just play whatever. And then you can add Zerg spellcasters, and it's a good way to do it. I don't necessarily like the middle of the road approach that much. Kind of what I did last game, where they went for an all-in, but kind of late, 5 bases. I would either like to see, for example, This probe right now could go make a proxy gate, and they go for like a 3-gate early aggression with Link Stalker, that kind of thing, right? If they don't want to do that, I would really prefer if they just go for a macro play, but I guess we'll see. Laser has not made a... Okay, that's cool. He hasn't made a gas yet, so he could go for a super fast third hatch. Now keep in mind, even though the feeding rules exist, you can still feed later on. And one strategy that I have played around with myself with Zerg is to feed Swarm Host later. Like, you can go Nidus, Infestation Pit, then that's probably going to be like about 4:30 or so. 30 seconds later, you can feed, and then all of a sudden you have 20 Swarm Hosts. You can make spores around the Niduses and whatever, and that's all, you know, it's incredibly strong. Do you want to play that against Mass Phoenixes? Doable, but hard. Wait, who just pinged this? I guess the probe just pinged it. If you guys are actually, I can explain this. If you're curious why he pinged it, it's because if you're going to play Stargate, so it's an advanced scouting tip, you usually make the Stargate before Warp Gate, else it's too late. So he pinged the Cybercore because he was researching Warp Gate, letting his teammate know that it's probably going to be Twilight Council and not Stargate. So they already know that. Could be a mind game. Probably not. I said this in the show match, Max Pack Spirits against Trigger Clem. I don't think you really want to play Phoenix War against Max Pax like ever. He's just the best at it. Max Pax is the single best Stargate player in the world. I think, without exaggeration, I think most people are gonna agree. His Oracles are the best, his Phoenixes are the best. And if we're being honest, whether it comes to carriers, let's just say everyone is equally good, okay? Because it's not it's not particularly rocket science to A-move carriers, so I think we can call Max Pax the best Stargate player. Let's see. First Oracle on the way. Second Stargate is going to be on the way after that. Pretty much the same build as last game. Spirit is making... Oh, I actually missed this. 4 Hellion... Oh. I have a bad feeling about this for Team Skillers, guys. 4 Hellion drop. Completely unscouted. No Overlord here by Elaser. Skillers has 3 units, and they're here. Really good move by Max Pax, by the way. First point of view, you think this looks bad. He just distracted the entire army, and these Hellions are gonna go freaking ham. Oh, this is gonna be pain. Good that he has a battery, I wanted to say. Actually, really not the best hits by Spirit there. This looks like it should have been like 15 probes dying. Instead, it was like 7 or something. Oh, he's gonna get these on the high ground. No, I don't think Laser realized they're on the high ground. He's pulling his workers to kill the Hellions. I don't want to watch this anymore. This hurts my soul a little bit. Oh, no. Oh, it looked like it was going to be such a good defense for them, but instead they still lose absolutely everything to the drones. Or they lose all the drones to the Hellions. He's going to lose more even. And yeah, this is... I mean, it's looking very rough. I wouldn't say it's completely over, but they're going to have to make a big comeback against, you know, the team that is probably the best 2v2 team in the world right now, and that is always going to be unlikely to happen. Do snipe the medevac, however, so that's nice. But yeah, that was a little rough to say the least. That was pretty freaking painful. Interestingly enough, Spirit... Is this a 2-base all-in? Yo, it's not a third command. It's actually a full-on 2-base all-in, isn't it? Huh. Different follow-up by Spirit. I was going to say, it's interesting that he's playing the same bio build instead of going for the 2-factory tank. But they're not actually going to go for the 2-factory tank. It's a 2-base all-in behind the damage. Now, if there was a way to make a comeback here, guys, it's your opponent's all-inning. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. Now, this is going to be a bunch of Stalkers dying. How many Stalkers are on the field? 6 Stalkers on the field, meaning these are going to die pretty fast. Oh, he does have 6. He can snipe a Phoenix over there. That would be nice. Please target the right one. Please target the right one. One more chance. No, he actually missed it. Please. Thank goodness. Okay. Getting a little panicky here because I really want this series to be as close as possible, but... I don't know. It seems like the blue team is having a bit of a rough time. Does get the Phoenix in the end. Now, Spirit is going to go for 1-1 upgrades. I'm checking the building tab to make sure I didn't miss the 3rd command center, and I didn't. Do you guys think there's a chance he forgot it? I think it exists. Look at what he's making. 5 barracks. Then, instead of going for the classic 2-base all-in setup with 1 eBay, he makes 2 eBays. He's even making an armory that's... way too early, but he's making it. And then he's making the 3rd CC. Did Spirit mess up here is the question. Now, how many Phoenixes are out on the map? It's 11 Phoenixes. Okay, Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Elaser is doing what I want him to do. He's just... Look how many units he has. 0. He has 14 overlords and 3 queens, and he only made drones. Elaser is on 76 drones right now, making his... Like, their eco is way better. This is exactly what I wanted them to do. The problem is, these guys are doing like a semi 2-base all-in, and I'm not quite sure if they're gonna hold it. I also am not quite sure about the Spire. The Spire is gonna be for Corruptors, by the way. Either they're gonna do the most psycho Mutalisk run-by of all time. I do like psycho moves. Not quite sure if I would be a fan of this one. Or they're gonna make Corruptors. In fact, there used to be a strategy that Kalizer and Eric, Brazilian team, used to do, where they would feed 2-base Corruptor against Mass Phoenixes. I think in that case... Wait, what was that stim? Is there something happening? Or was that an accident? It almost looked like he stimmed to kill his teammates' Phoenixes. Like he thought it was his enemy's Phoenixes or something, you know? But I think in that case, the Phoenixes are still better because they're just faster. And you can always make Void Rays and stuff. He's going to go for a Fleet Beacon now. That means carriers are going to be on the way. There's a lot of Phoenixes over here. The Corruptors are going to do a really good job against those. Needs to be careful. Oh, it does barely lose that one on the back end. It's 10 Corruptors against 19 Phoenixes. It's about on the edge. Oh, these Corruptors are so good here. All these Marines are going to die. The Corruptors instantly popping off. He's going to be able to target Phoenixes. These Corruptors are actually putting in work. The thing is, ideally, you have enough Corruptors alive for the eventual carrier transition. Elaser is... Okay, he did lose a decent amount of drones here. He's going to go up to 75 drones again. 4th base is going to be saturated. Nikita over here, Mr. Skillis, is playing Colossus. Okay. I really love inventing 2v2 compositions. And this excites me. Because it looks like they're playing Colossus Corruptor. I have never seen that before. I have never seen... Colossus Corruptor. I mean, it sounds cool. I don't know if it works. Sounds cool. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I would say that the red team here has the advantage purely because they got the advantage early on, massively. Strategically, I actually think these guys are playing a pretty fire game, to be honest. Colossus is going to be super good against the Terran army. Well, once there's too many Colossus out, this Terran army is going to be kind of bad, even. I think we saw that in the... I'm not sure if it was the show match or the 2v2 circuit finals last time, but we saw that when there's Colossus out, Marine Tank really doesn't cut it anymore. And he's still just making Corruptors. He literally still hasn't made another unit besides Corruptors. Also, I know Elaser likes to play with 1 queen per hatchery. Right now, he has 1 queens per 2.5 hatcheries, which he's not even making more. I guess if you're only making Corruptors, you don't really need that. But look at this, guys. Elaser's army? Yeah, I don't know about this. Oh, I'm so happy right now. This is cool. I mean, this could still be an anticlimactic end because they do have 5 tanks against 1 Colossus. But these guys have really made something out of this. He has 26 Corruptors against a guy with 19 Phoenixes. And how many carries is he gonna have? I don't think these are all at the same time. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna have 5 carriers. But these amount of Corruptors beat that. What are the upgrades like? 1 armor. Okay, that's not bad, actually. 1 armor against 1 attack, soon to be 2 attack on the air side. Like, Elaser's army is good. The problem is, we really need to see the fight come together. Like, these guys are playing the classic 2v2 style, and we know how to play that. I don't know how to play Gateway Colossus Corruptor, and I kind of doubt that these guys know too. He's going up to freaking 40 Corruptors, but he's about to have 39 Corruptors. His army is literally Corruptor and nothing else. Oh, snipes him. That's actually nice. Yo, hold on a second, guys. Spirit has 1 medevac for 68 Marines. That's bad. Do you guys realize that 1 stim is about to do 700 damage to his own army? And he has 1 medevac to heal it. You guys realize that? Look. Oh, please move the Corruptors. The Corruptors are on top of the Marines right now. Now, as you can tell, the Terran army is getting absolutely annihilated. The Corruptors are killing the carriers. Oh, he needs to micro those Colossus. Really good micro with the Warpers and pickup. The carriers are already dead. The Marines are trying to come back to deal with the Corruptors, but he doesn't have any units left. And Corruptor freaking Colossus might be doing the trick. Now, he needs to be careful here, because there's only 14 Corruptors left, and he's getting in Protoss territory. There's 3 carriers. The carriers do fall. Their supply is actually very decent still. Maxpex and Spirit are keeping up in supply. That's what scares me. But this Protoss army looks like it shouldn't ever die to the Terran army. This Terran has no Marauders. I know for some people it looks like Bio is just Bio. Marine Ghost does not kill Colossus at all. It's not even close, actually. And Mr. Oh my god, this is so cool. Colossus Corruptor has actually done it. Don't forget how this game started, guys. With a 4 Hellion drop killing like 25 workers. And then they go... He still hasn't made a different unit. His army is still only Corruptors. 2 Queens and 70 Corruptors. Colossus, Stalker, Immortal, Zealot. Well, let's look at the income. The income is actually not way bigger, but definitely bigger for the blue team. Has he made a Great Aspire yet, by the way? No Great Aspire. He did make a Lurker dead. That is cool. He's going to use the Corruptors to kill the Planetary. I think he can probably just kill it. He's not going to decide to go for it, though. Very respectable choice there. Now, here's the thing, guys, that's very important. I know the supplies look good for the blue team, but you might think it doesn't look that crazy, right? They're ahead, but it's not that much. The thing is, Maxpax lost all of his Phoenixes besides 6, which means that now even Mass Stalker is going to do perfectly fine against the carriers. I mean, it doesn't even look like he has to. The Corruptor play, alright, I mean, Corruptors are back on the menu, that's crazy. He's killing every single carriers through the Phoenix and Marines, by the way. That's how good the Colossus are. Look at Elazer's army composition right there. 101 workers and 17 Corruptors. Now, Piotr, Spirit did manage to get a couple bio units, but these Colossus are just too strong here. These Colossus are absolutely obliterating the bio. The tanks are getting sniped by Blink Stalkers, which is kind of a funny thing to say in such a big army. And I think that's gonna be it. He rebuilt that mothership. That mothership is not gonna have a good time. And they have freaking done it with the Colossus Corruptor. How cool is this, guys? 2v2, baby. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's be honest. Almost all of you, including me, we saw the Hellion skill workers. We were like, yep, the Phoenixes are gonna clean house and that's gonna be it. But they actually annihilate them. And this is what I'm talking about. With the new feeding rules and 2v2, a lot of time I heard players complain. I've also complained about certain strategies. But there is so much more to figure out in 2v2 because you have so many tools at your disposal. You can go for Tempest or Mutas or Neural Parasite or Colossus Corruptor. The score is 1-1 and we're going to a freaking ace match. All right, here we go. The score is 1-1. And that was the coolest game of the tournament so far, I think. We played some bangers, actually. In the first couple rounds, we played some absolute bangers. But in terms of strategies, upsets, storyline, whatever, that was the coolest game so far, I think. Let's see, Spirit Maxpax on the right side. You know, I kind of forgot about it halfway. But I really think that Spirit kind of dropped the ball there. All credit to Skillis Laser. They were behind, invented an absolute cool army composition against the thing that often people consider unbeatable. Phoenix into carrier late game 2v2. But don't forget that Spirit played a 2-base all-in into making a 3rd command center. Whether he did that because he was scared or not, I don't know. But I do think that was a bit of a deciding factor. Like, his army could have been definitely bigger. Now, what I really like about the decision to go Colossus, I've seen it a couple times now. The Terran players in 2v2, they play pure Marine tank. And there needs to be a bit of a distinction made there. Pure Marine tank is not the same as playing Bio tank with a lot of Marauders, right? Pure Marine tank just gets destroyed by Colossus because you don't have the Marauders to tank the Colossus or kill them. And that's pretty much what happened. So I think we're going to see something different from Spirit in particular. Whether it's going to be adding Marauders, playing greedier, playing mech, I don't know. But I think we're going to see something different from Spirit. From Maxpax, I expect the same. I mentioned in the last game, Maxpax is the literal best target player in the world. His units always have value. I think we're going to see the same. I have seen one... I don't remember which game it was. Excuse me. It was against Trigger Clem in the show match that they played. He did play Oracle into Blink one time. I think it was 4 times Phoenixes and 1 time Oracle into Blink, so he can do something else. Now, I'm actually curious. I have to imagine that what these guys did last game was a freestyle. Okay? I really don't think that they said in advance, you know what? Colossus Corruptor. You know? Like, I really don't think that that's what happened. I think it was just... It was a freestyle, it worked, and now I guess we're gonna see if they're gonna do it again. Skill is going for the Twilight Council again. It's blocked by the production tab. The production tab does get a bit massive, so sometimes it might block stuff. Try my best to avoid it. Spirit is going for a second gas. That's actually quite notable. That means he's not gonna go for the super fast 30C that he played in the first game. I mean, his reactor got blocked that game anyway. Gonna be a starport at home this time. MaxPax is pinging in the dead space over here. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe he thinks that's the right entrance to go with his Banshee. All these guys are in voice chat, by the way, so they're obviously talking to each other. So I can only interpret what I think the pings mean. I don't know what they're actually saying. I can only just try and interpret. So it's gonna be Blink against Oracle. That's the story of this entire best of 3 when it comes to the Protoss players. And for Elaser, he did switch it up a bit compared to last game. Oh yeah, I didn't explain it in the last game, but if you guys are wondering why Elaser in particular lost so many drones last game, it's because he played gasless. He didn't have link speed, so he doesn't have anything to catch the Hellions. The Hellion drop is a super good build against gases because slow links just don't do anything, so you just have queens waddling after them like the Penguin Brothers on creep. Hey, it is actually going to be Banshee. I'm a prophet. Let's see, how many or Hellions do we build? 4 Hellions. Queens were already in position. That's really nice. In position here as well. Nikita has a battery and 2 Stalkers. And this is going to be pretty good for the blue team over here. These Hellions are not really going to do that much. I think he's scared about... Oh, it's the 2 Adepts going into the base. Those are also going to die pretty fast. But they are doing a little bit of damage. A little bit of disjointed micro there. It's a little painful. Still going to die though, so it doesn't really matter. Oracle got 0 kills, which is really good. These Hellions also pretty much got 0 kills, I think. And no one is going to die this time. At least not early. Unless he doesn't... Okay, he does look at the Stalker. That's nice. He's going to go in with the Hellions. Not actually a big fan of that. A little bit of a tip I can give you guys for Hellion micro is you always want to angle your Hellions so that they shoot in the mineral line. So the angle you would shoot from here, for example. If you're in the mineral line, your Hellions don't actually kill anything. So Spirit there was a bit desperate. Didn't get the right angle. Didn't actually really kill any probes there. Just lost 4 Hellions. I think he killed a couple, but really no big deal at all. Now Spirit once again going for a 2-base opener. 3 racks into Engineering Bay. And I really think that that could be what cost him the last game. If he adds 2 more barracks, I'd be very surprised. This map would be a lot better at pushing, by the way. And because of the action, I didn't touch on MaxPax's build. MaxPax actually going for the Oracle into Blink build. He made 1 Phoenix, which is really cool, because that is a mind game Phoenix. He built this Phoenix, sent it across, purposely attacked an Overlord. Or was it an Overlord he was attacking? It must have been, right? Yeah, exactly this one. Attacked an Overlord, and the reason why he was attacking is because Phoenixes are very often hallucinated to scout with. Hallucinations do no damage. So MaxPax sends his Phoenix across, attacks an Overlord to let them know this is a real Phoenix, and then goes Blink. Really cool mind game over there. Love to see it. Now, what are we... If we're gonna see a Spire from the Zerg, then the mind game worked 5,000%. Okay, it's a Hydralisk then and Infestation Pit. Okay, that's very good. I actually was thinking it would be Hydralisk. Didn't expect the Infestation Pit so fast. It's always a little troublesome in 2v2 to do 1v1 builds because there's always something that complicates things. Against what MaxPax is doing, you could totally go for a Hydra link timing. But then you have to factor in that there's going to be Stimmed Bio with tanks. And then you're like, what am I going to make with it? Because just Stalkers is also not going to be good attacking into tanks. Now, Nikita going for the double Robo. Or is it double Robo, actually? I just assumed he was going to make a second Robo. He's going to go for Colossus anyway. No double Robo yet. Elaser is on 76 drones. This is what Elaser does best, by the way. Literally building drones. I have all-in the Elaser before on 1 base, and he would have 50 workers already. That's not a good thing, but if there's something Elaser does really well, it's building freaking drones. He will get his drone count up very, very high. Lurker then going down. I actually like the situation for the blue team here. I'm a little worried about Skillis, because he is currently in the transition to Colossus, and he doesn't really have that much yet. Like, if you look at the Stalker counts, it's 18 against 10 in favor of MaxPax. Zerglings are also not going to be good against the Bio army. I really, if Spirit would have done the 2-base all in this game and actually attacked, I think they would have killed them. I'm pretty sure they would. But they're playing it a bit passive, and this is the opposite of what they want to do. Elaser went up to 87 drones off of a handful of Zerglings. Spirit is playing 2 base 3 racks and then sits back. This tells me one thing. I know a lot about, you know, the mental games that are going on here. I think what Spirit and MaxPax think is if they get to a proper late game, they will win. That's why they're playing it a little more chill. Does seem like he does want to move out now, though. Excuse me. Keep in mind, there's no creep at all. Elaser did just finish all of his Hydra. There's 20 Hydras on the field. 1 Colossus on the field already. I think they might have missed their timing here, guys. Oh, this is a big drop here by Spirit. Look at this. Oh, that's going to be painful. He doesn't have the warp gates available, so he doesn't even have charge. That's going to finish just in time for the next warping of Zealots. But the blue team is engaging with the Hydras. This is too good of a choke to attack into. Mr. Colossus almost walked into his death. Saves it in the end. The Zealots clean up the drop. But this is a big problem. That is 4 tanks, and they're barely not ready for it, I think. Colossus number 2 is finishing. MaxPax also playing Colossus. Might be a really big new unit for the game of 2v2, which is awesome. Skill has actually tried to scare him away by blinking forward to let him know, hey, I have Stalkers here, but I don't think he was looking. I think I heard a recall on some Stalkers, so the drop is going to be taken care of momentarily. Actually flew away to this side. If there's enough Zealots by Skillus, I think they are going to crush this. Elaser already getting the Hive upgrade for the Lurkers, by the way. He's also getting 1-1, but the Hive upgrades for the Lurkers are more meaningful here. And this kind of game, I mentioned this before, which is surprising to many. I think this kind of game is actually what Spirit MaxPax do best. For all their prowess in playing Phoenix Carrier, I like their active bio gameplay the most. This army is going to get absolutely crushed though. MaxPax didn't lose that much supply. Keep in mind he's making Colossus at home as well as the DT Shrine, but they do absolutely crush the army. This drop is still doing... Oh, actually, that is a sick combo. The 4 Zealots together with the Marines. Look at this. Oh no. Skillus is losing his entire mineral line over here because he was busy with the Warping in the main. He does clean that up. But Skillus is only on 3 bases. Yeah, he's down to 47 probes. I think they're in a position where they're gonna have to go for it. Oh no, the Lurkers! Okay, it's not all of them. Oh no, he's gonna lose the others. He kind of wishes it was all of them now. There's a lot of Zealots by Skillus. There's 3 Colossus as well. This drop is probably gonna get cleaned up now. But they lost so much eco that they might have to go for it. But this is kind of where MaxPax shines, especially with the stasis wards and stuff. Just defending, buying so much time. MaxPax has 87 workers, as you can see, an enormous economy over here. So if this is going to go too long, I think MaxPax is going to be able to close it out. Elaser has a lot of supply. Skillus doesn't. He does have a lot of army supply because he lost so many workers. The Hydra's over here cleaning on cleaning duty for those drops. Elaser is maxed, but he did lose, I think, yeah, he lost all of those Lurkers, I believe, back there. He doesn't have any Lurkers over here, so he lost like 8 or 9 or so. There's another Warp Prism in the main. Really, I'm saying they're really good at this multitasking playstyle. The drops and the Warp Prism, that's where they rock. This Nexus is alive, luckily, despite being super low HP. This is not an army that Elaser can kill, by the way. He needs the Protoss army to deal with that. Skillus is going all the way to the bottom right side. There is nothing really to do there. I guess he's going to try and kill this base over here, but he has to make a decision fast. This base dies as well. Elaser has, I think, 80 drones. He has 80 drones, but he only has 2 bases. He hasn't rebuilt this base either. Spirit with another drop on both sides. He's going to snipe the Nexus. There's also a drop in the main base of the Zerg. And honestly, Skillus is my boy, but I have no idea what his army was doing down there. There was absolutely nothing to do. Now, this is crazy. Okay, I think the red team thinks they're flanking the blue team, but instead they're the ones getting flanked. Spirit's army is going to struggle to deal with those Lurkers for sure. The Hydras are going to kill those tanks. MaxPax's army has to run away. There's a Viper here as well that can easily abduct the Colossus, by the way. Exactly, there you go. Does he have another abduct? 2 abducts going down. 2 Colossus die. And this is going to be it. They have one find, like their economy is absolutely just terrible. It doesn't even exist, in fact. They have to go for it, and I kind of wish they would go for it together. I mean, the Lurker army is super good against the bio. I do think they're splitting it well. If they had to split it, this is the right split. I kind of want Skillus to come here and join him into the natural, though. I think that would be a really good way to go about it. This drop is still freaking alive doing damage. Now, okay, they're going to try to jump on top of the Lurker. Skillus has to hurry up and get on top of her. The bio is all red HP, so they're not going to do that well against the Lurkers. This fight is really good for the blue team, guys. It's just, I think MaxPax is too rich. Does he have more? Yeah, he's 90 probes. He's going to be able to sink 10 Zealots into the army and just make another 10. This drop is also still alive, by the way, killing the main base over here. They're actually not going to have any economy left whatsoever. This is exactly what the red team should be doing, by the way, just buying time. Now, Spirit is kind of eliminated from the game. Like, he has a couple of useful EMPs over here, but this is exactly what I was talking about. There is so many zealots from max packs. The Immortals are not going to stand a chance. Even a Disruptor shot firing at the Lurker in the meantime. Spirit is going to come down the ramp, and that is going to be it. Max packs and Spirit still get it done, but a really good effort from Elaser and Skillers, guys. I think they got torn apart a little bit by the drops. It's tough mentally sometimes, because the past couple games they were very passive, and then now all of a sudden Max Packs and Spirit stepped on the gas, and I don't think they were ready for it. Like, look at the amount of bases they have. This base is dead. This is dead. 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 They killed 6 bases, and these 2 pathetic mineralized were the last thing that they were mining. Really well done by Max Pack Spirit. As you can tell, they were still low in supply, so the attack was really good, but they barely don't get it done. Max Pack Spirit makes the finals again. It's going to be a best of 5. Curious if it's going to be a rematch against Trigger Clem again, but we'll see.